everybody. Welcome back to Mortgage Ballers. My name is Rich Hanlin, and I have Mr. Shawn Curran with me. He's been with me for a long time. I consider him a friend. You know, a partner in business, but he's got an incredible wife, Lucy, who's also a real estate agent. I mean, Shawn's done it all. He's played football, man. He's served our country. He's flown fighter jets. I mean, this guy does it all, and he still has time to spend a little bit of time with me. Shawn, thanks for coming on the show today. I appreciate all you do, man.
Absolutely, my man. It's my honor to be on here. So, I appreciate everything you do. You are a good
Shawn, I've
man.
known you. We hooked up at Answer Home Loans, the last company I had, and then I some people came, some people stayed, and believe me, no hard feelings either way. Great platforms either way. But I ended up taking off and starting a new platform. But I was. It's always incredible because I didn't know if anybody would come over, but some people did. And Shawn was one of those people. He said, "Hey, let me come check out this Xpert Home Lending platform, see what that's about." And I pay him just enough money that he stayed. No, I'm kidding. Shawn, how long you been doing loans, man?
Well, I'll tell you, I basically, got out of the Navy. Then I went into the manufactured home industry where I ran big dealerships,
That's
selling
right.
manufactured homes for about 10 years. Got out of that in, I think, 2003. Went into, I wouldn't even call it the mortgage business because it was just that pick a pay loan. Remember the pick a
Oh yeah.
pay? That's the only thing I learned how to do. That's all I knew how to do. And I was killing it. We're all
Who did you
making,
work for when you did that?
just some broker, a buddy of
Okay.
mine. But I think it was Washington Federal or Washington Mutual. One of those was basically the only loan we did. So I didn't know anything. I just knew fill out the app, here you go, get paid, right? Two on the front, three on the back, whatever it was, which was cool with me. Because in 2000, I lost everything. I lost a couple mil in a divorce. So it was basically starting over again. And then did that till about 2007. Bought a 30-acre parcel where we're doing, subdivision. Bought a couple more spec homes, and I don't even need to tell you what happened in 2008. I literally for the first time in my life didn't want to wake up and get out of
Oh,
bed. It was
I remember that
constant.
time.
It was just nothing good's happening today. I kept, I had a bunch of savings where I kept dumping the money in trying to save everything. And in 2009, I finally had to, I went from an 800 credit score of my entire life to literally 300 overnight. And, bankrupt. It was the only time, I had to go bankrupt. So I got three
You and me both,
kids.
my friend. You and me both.
And I got three kids, and I'm a single dad, and I'm trying to figure out, now we're moved into my mom's house, which, at 45, 50, however old I was like, this is embarrassing. So I was down to my last nickel, no credit, no nothing, and the old job always called me back, manufactured home, to come run a, so I said, hell, we're moving to Oregon. I got to get back on my feet. Went back into that business, running a couple stores up there. It was one of those times in your life. You have a few times in your life where you're like aha moments, and it was like I was in Dallas on training, and I didn't have any credit, and the guys came in and said, "Hey, we're going out to dinner," and I literally told them, "I don't even have $5 to buy dinner, guys. Like, that's where I'm at right now. It's like I can't." Oh, don't worry, we'll take you out, blah, blah, blah. But it was one of those, like, I will never put myself in this situation again where I literally can't even, buy freaking dinner, right? So I built it back up, did that for about 2 years till about 2012. Then I went with, you remember Comstock Mortgage?
Yes, I do.
Oh, so I came with Jeff Compton, was a buddy of mine, real good buddy of mine.
Jeff Compton.
Came back, worked with him, kind of under him, learned the actual business, how to do loans, not just the pick a pay loan. They got bought out by Guild, and then I left to what was it, Big Valley? I think
Big
BVM. I
Valley.
don't remember BVM.
Yeah.
Jumped to BVM, did that for about 2 years, did good. Then I went back into retail. I don't know why, but it was Cherry Creek.
I remember Cherry Creek. Oh, okay. Was that under Shelby? Pete Galvez. Okay. Hmm. Sure. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I ain't taking credit for it. Well, Dan came into that relationship as a recruiter. I was going to be the broker side. So to his credit, Dan helped build a top 10 national company. Um, and we did that together, and I'm very honored with that. I just got to a point when it was time to renew. I After that 2021, we had 20 and 21 with COVID. That was crazy. And they said, we're going to raise the rates. I'm thinking, man, I've already been through this in 2008. I'm not going to just give it all back. And I told my wife, I think it's time. We just sell everything in California and we need to go back. And I was just going to open up a brokerage. I wasn't even going to do core and all that. I was just going to just be myself. But I asked Lisa if she could be my AE because she helped us grow Answer. And about a week later, she said, not only can I do that, but we want to come do it too. Because she was kind of maxed out at UWM. I'm like, long as Matt's cool with it, I don't want no problems with Matt. I want the UWM platform. And we got his blessings. And next thing you know, we're doing core, expert, 44 states. Like, I wouldn't have done all this on my own. Hell, you could have put me out to pasture. Um, Partners are basically what changed. It's really tough to do this on your own anymore. Hell, it's almost tough to be a loan officer on your own. That's why all these people are doing teams, and figuring stuff out. It's the industry's changed a lot over the years. What we said there at the end of 2021, Shawn, there was like over 400,000 licensees. Yeah, like 93,000. I mean, that's crazy to me. Oh my gosh, where are we going with this? Yeah, barely. Yeah, right. Hmm. Absolutely. They don't care how much money you have. They just want you, man. Right? Editor, please edit that out so I don't get in trouble. Thank you. Sure. Yeah. Well, we figured out he's top 30 out of 600 plus. So don't cut yourself too short. That's all right. Yeah. I knew we were going to do this conversation. I knew it might go in these directions. So I'm with you. I lost everything in 2008. And then I almost lost my marriage in 2018. And I had a lot of things that I needed to change. Got a lot of help, a lot of coaches, um, not counselors that just you talk. Let me lay back and talk to me. Um, Coaches like, hey, this is what I hear. This is what I need. Because being in sports, I'm like, let me try this coach stuff. Like, do these drills, and I just knew I wanted to be a better person. Um, and that's I was killing myself at answer. I really was. I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm going to have a heart attack, like at this setup. California was real fast paced. All of our business was mostly California. Um, it was just wearing on me. And not that we didn't have incredible loan originators, but I was just like, it's getting ready to change again. I think we need to slow it down. And Georgia is slower. It really is. And it's different, but it's a good different. It was again, I feel very blessed. I've made some changes, what I think at the right time, opened up answer right at the right time. Left answer, gave that Dan and Dave. They're doing a great job with that, but it was time for me to move on. I had some other ideas. Um, this is my last stop. People, what's next, Rich? No, this is it. This is I don't. I mean, we talked. Do I need 600 more originators? No, they'll come. I don't know, but I do want to change people's lives to say thank you that they've even came to my platform. Like, I want to give the best that I have for the remainder that I have to give it. Because you're right, my sister passed away. This is my younger sister. She passed away. I saw her at Christmas time. 2 days later, she passed away in her sleep. I'm like, what the hell? Unexpected. I've already lost my brother, who's 2 years older, 3 years older than me, 2 years ago. And I'm like, all right, this is bullcrap. You're right. What matters and what doesn't. And I know this doesn't have a lot to do with loans, but I hope some younger people will listen to this a little bit. I know it's fun to see that stuff on TV where they're driving really nice cars and they fight all day with the realtors. And it's like, that must be the cool life. It's like, no, I work, Stephanie Gilbert says, she goes, I only work with realtors that I like. I don't just do transactions for people. I I only let people on my team that have the same vision I do. I'm not going to reinvent who I am for them. They want to come to me, come on, you're going to do it my way. You know, Understanding your value, your life, what's important. And you do have an incredible wife. She's always smiling every time I see her. Um, all like 4'2" of her. And, you know, she's like, Rich, I'll kill you. But it's just, I get it. Understanding what's important in life. And I think the more I've started to learn to put myself last in some of these equations, it's funny because I feel like I've been more blessed than when I used to figure out from the front side, Rich wants to make this amount, therefore I need to make sure I bring LOs that will pay me this amount. And now it's different. It's the more you're successful, whichever and I'm okay with that definition is different for everyone, by the way. I have people that do one transaction a year. I have people that do 150 transactions. Um, some people are doing it part time. Some people do it full time. Everybody's different in that journey, but amazing isn't a destination. I used to think it was this destination I was working so hard to get. Amazing is the day to day walk with people like Shawn Curran, people that there's some type of meaningful thing to it. And yes, I needed Shawn to come over because every now and then we have golf tournaments, and he's one of my ringers when we have to actually supply. So he was our Las Vegas ringer a couple years ago. we yes, that's the day I about died out there on that course. We had you, we had we had Krista Doniker for our ringer woman, and then who do we have? Uh Shawn, right? No, no, not Shawn, not Shawn. Doesn't he go by Shawn too? No, I swear it starts with an S. We went for ringers. They all came in from different parts of the United States, and we took it to people. Um, yeah, those are that was a beautiful course, by the way. I didn't know they had such a nice golf course just sitting down at the end of the Las Vegas Strip. Shawn, it's Shawn. Gosh dang, it's right here. Driving me crazy. He just spells it differently. Since we've been there, they did that. Hey, it was nice, but it wasn't that nice. Yes. Well, that's what was weird. I didn't. I'm like, how is that even possible? Yeah, Sean McLaughlin. It's Sean. It is Sean. He spells it Sean. Oh yeah, still with us. He is our manager of our Mesquite, Nevada branch, and he lives right across the border in Utah, right there. Matter of fact, he'll be at our Nevada or not our Arizona event here at the end of April. He's going to come over to that. We're starting to do our events, which is kind of cool, getting those all set up so that all five people will come. That's what we need to do. Quite honestly, get everybody to Michigan and go have a golf day there and do a full uh, blown tournament with a party afterwards. Well, he's a golfer too. I've seen those clubs. Hey, it's your time. I want people to know more about you. You keep touching stuff. Tell everybody, what'd you do? You're in the Navy. You're a naval aviator, correct? Oh no. Wow. Sure. Wow. Wow. Mhm. Yeah. Well, let's hear the other side of this story. How well adjusted are your three kids? Because I know you love your kids. Where are you at with your kids now after having to do all that stuff? You got the oldest one was 35, 36. Okay. Okay. Yeah. My youngest just turned, yeah, Justin just turned 28, and Jordan will be 30 here in just about a month, 2 weeks. I'm just like, holy cow. Like Justin being 28, he's a dad. Jordan's already a dad. I've got, you wait to, who's going to be the incredible woman that ends up being the one? And I'm like, it's funny because we got incredible daughter-in-laws. I'm like, oh my God. Um, you know, I went on a true story. I went over to see the baby probably about 2 weeks ago, and we got to spend all day. And they look like brand new parents. They're totally tired. They have that worn out look. But I'm leaving, and I told my wife, "Hey, I'll be right back." And I walked back in. I said, "Hey, I just want to get one more kiss." And he started to hold up the baby, and I said, "No, I got this one." I kissed him on the top of his head, and I just said, "I'm really proud of you." Um, yeah, you don't have to see eye to eyes with your kids all the time. We still love them more than anything. Jordan, the Air Force one. He's the older. Justin's the more built one. Yeah, right. No, we lucked out on that one because he was so smart coming up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with him. We had to take him over to Whitney High School because we just came from Lincoln, but we're like, can we do Whitney right there? It's literally right there. Um, and they're like, yeah, but he didn't sign up and come through the Rockland School District. We're going to start him in these classes. I'm like, hey, those are kind of remedial classes. Like, he's pretty smart. And they're like, well, that's where we're going to start him because we have no evaluations on him. And Lincoln isn't like Rockland. I'm like, okay. about a week and a half into it, we get a call like, Jordan, we're going to be moving Jordan. And I'm like, what, something wrong? They're like, no, no, no. Like, he's way beyond these classes. We're going to put him in these classes. So I'm like, okay, we already had this conversation, you know, but within a semester of that school, um, we got a call said Jesuit would like Jordan to come to Jesuit. They could push him more mentally and academically, and he could play baseball there. And I was like, okay, like I never heard of Jesuit before. What's this Jesuit school? We're not Catholic. Can we do that? Are we allowed? Um, and then he ended up going Jesuit. So so Jordan went all the way through Jesuit, and then he went to the Air Force Academy. I mean, that's where his mind was. I've always told Jordan, if I ever need to have open heart surgery or brain surgery, I hope it's somebody like you, because he didn't just get through the classes, like he understood the classes. Like going to college, I just built up enough to pass the test, right? Justin's more like me. Justin's very physical and strong, and he was going to go the EMT to fireman route. And just watching him, of course, he's more of a nurturing person and going that direction. So he did really well here with working the back end, helping me with licensing, talking to people through stuff. Jordan's done good with not having so much contact, but handling company licenses and working with the third party vendors, things like that, because they think differently and do things differently, but they also originate. They also do real estate, and it's like, okay, it's full circle. But I've told both of them, and you've touched on it too. It took me a long time. I did the best I could as a dad. There's no books, right? There really isn't. But I did miss some things because I was doing open houses, or I had to go show houses, or I had to stay up work late at night. I did the best I could, but I told him, I want you to remember that if you stay on the sell side, you got to find your balance. And that's my thing for everybody. And I hear you saying it too. Don't lose your family for the higher income, because believe me, once you get past about, quite honestly, for me, at $150,000 with little debt, I could be a millionaire over time playing the long game. But from 150 to 250, that next 100, guess what? You're only keeping like 40% of it. So make sure it's worth it for that extra $40,000, because you're really just giving it to Uncle Sam at that point in time. Is your marriage worth it? Is your relationship with your kids worth it? Don't lose the traditions, because we don't have a lot of traditions in our house. We played sports on holidays, Christmas get-togethers, Thanksgiving. Always sending my kids on planes to Arizona and 12-hour rides to play in these tournaments. And it's if I could go back, it's like, hey, let's go camping, let's go fishing for the weekend, you know, because time goes with a blink of an eye. It really does. Yeah. Are your parents still alive, Sean? Wow. Okay. Oh wow. Wow. Wait, did he play with Rudy? Oh my God. All right. Oh yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. Well, you also do something for us. We needed an avenue to do manufactured homes. Well, Shawn has that background, so Shawn's also a broker license, and a lot of those we push through his company rather than us trying to do them. There's just not a lot of avenues, and they wouldn't. The setup to do those loans is a lot different than normal transactions. But boy, we've done a lot over the last couple of years. I know a lot of people have found a little extra income to get through this crazy times. We've done them all the way down to like 13,000. I've seen them in San Diego like for 450, 500. And I'm like, okay, manufactured homes, that's crazy. Right. They're doing it too. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm trying to follow in those footsteps, making some important changes right now. 4 years, right? No, I'll be 58 in a month. Yeah. No, I get it. Right. Well, you found a balance. Like I catch you, like you do travel, you guys do things. I know your wife also does some different things. So you travel and you back her up in what she does. You guys are very, very active in all that you do, which is awesome. You guys really complement each other, which is really cool. Um, uh, okay, here's a story. How did you meet her? How did you meet her? Yeah. Yeah. Well, people, let's say it for the record straight, Shawn. You may be 62, but you look like you're 38. I mean, you've defied gravity really well externally, but your body still hurts sometimes. I'm sitting here I'm talking your ear off. I knew this conversation might go this direction versus just beating you up like I do some of the people about why loans, why this, what do you say to your customers? But I think the biggest thing with you, it's different. Just like Armando Cornejo, it's a different conversation. Glenn Thomas, it's a different conversation because I know you guys on a personal level. Um, and I want the biggest thing I hate when people say, "Oh, you're a loan originator." It's like, well, you don't even want to get to know the rest of me. You just put me in. I'm the same as the guy who just got his license yesterday, apparently. But if people would get to know us on the other side, find, man, this is like a seasoned person in life, done a lot of loans, a lot of different things. There's a reason why you are part of that top group that do 80 to 85% of the loans of our company. You know, you have that seasoned assistance. It's hard to stump you. Maybe that's what we call it. Try and stump Shawn hour, where you bring your worst scenario and see if you can stump him. You've really surpassed that, and you have the confidence. Um, you know what you're capable of and how to turn it on, turn it off. Where everybody else is still trying to figure that out early on in their careers, um, and it's hard to some people never turn it off. Some people never turn it on. Um, we're all somewhere in between, I guess. Let's put it up. We're in between somewhere. Shawn, I've been talking your ear off. What's that? Uh huh. They might think so. Right. Yeah. And that's kind of it. I always tell people my job is to get the deal done, overcome any obstacles. But sometimes stuff comes up. But judge me whether I got it done or not. Sometimes we pull teeth to get them done. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that deal went way faster than I thought it would. Um, but I don't shy away from the hard stuff. I take it all. I keep my pipeline full with whatever comes my way. But I also sum up stuff pretty quick. There's stuff that I don't do anymore that it's like, I'm not the best one for that. Let me see if somebody else wants to do it because I know that's going to take a lot of time. And that's not good for my marriage or my life or losing more hair. But besides that, one day at a time. Remind me to pay Shawn for that free information. Shawn, I got to wrap this up because I'm going to do another interview right after this. Man, here's what I want to tell you. Don't ever change. Number two, I'm very thankful. God has brought some incredible people into my life. Whether you believe or don't believe, that's how I believe. He's brought these incredible people, and they all tell stories that remind me that I'm not crazy for doing this industry. We've been doing it a long time. Some days I'm like, man, am I past my prime or what? Um, but then I have these conversations. I remember, you know what? He's doing the same thing. We're still doing it, and I mean, we talked about it. There's only 25% of us left out there from just 4 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. Like we are still in the game because of what's between our ears. And a lot of our realtor partners are that similar thing. It's so hard to break into this industry because I can't just take what I got here and hand it to the next person. There's a lot of wounds and scars that got me to where I'm at, a lot of fights and battles. Um, and I felt like I just outlasted some of my predecessors and somehow I'm here. But you always bring me back down to earth and a reminder that, life is not guaranteed tomorrow. Live for the day, do the best you can. Don't over save. You got to spend some money. If I go back tell my sister, I say, "Gosh, she's not good with her money," and I'm like, "Hell, she knew exactly what she was doing, because she lived a very, very ongoing, fun life. Had so many friends, and meanwhile, I'm like, save some money. What about tomorrow?" Well, she didn't get it tomorrow, right? No one's guaranteed nothing. But I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you partnering with me at Xpert Home Lending. You're one of the reasons that make it worth me doing what I'm doing, because it's a reminder that I'm not crazy. That there's two of us that are crazy, not just me. Yeah. Well, I wish you a prosperous 2025. I tell your wife I said hello and that we talked about her today, and she's now a star. I'll get an interview with her one of these days. But I want to say thank you for coming on and let me interview you today. I really do appreciate it. Well, thank goodness somebody's watching till the end. But this is how it goes when we have a great interview on Mortgage Ballers. We say it. Stay thirsty, my friends. I owe you the "Stay Thirsty, my friend" shirt. All right. Well, you too, Sean. Thank you. Whoops.